What is up, guys? Welcome to Life with Lance. I am your host, Lance Hatton, and I'm excited that you guys are here today. I'm so glad to be able to have the opportunity to be able to do this channel. And what this channel really consists of is just me doing life and sharing it with you guys through a faith-based perspective. And yeah, just getting down to the nitty-gritty of every single aspect of life. We'll go over finances, we'll go over relationships, we'll go over career, we'll go over purpose, and we'll just all keep it just from my perspective, and just what God has been doing in my life, man. And you guys know that I have been on a roller coaster of a journey with work and everything. And if you don't know, I used to be a teacher. I was a teacher for about 2.5 years, and I am actually getting married in March, so a little over 4 months. And I really just began to sit down and try to figure out, man, what am I going to do about finances? Because, teachers don't make any money. And my fiance is in school still, like she's almost done with school. So I'm excited for her for that. But I really want to be able to leave generational wealth for my family. And I really want to be able to just make an impact in the kingdom and to be able to bless people. But just also to be able to not have my time so consumed with work. So I decided to leave teaching. And leaving teaching and leaving that position of being able to pour into students may have been one of the hardest things I've ever done. Leaving teaching left me stressed, and I was worried, and I was like anxious. And I'm talking about not like anxiousness is not something that I've dealt with before, but the end of my second year of teaching, I was really, really nervous about what I'm going to do for my future, because I do not want to not be there for my future kids. I didn't want to not be there for my wife, my soon-to-be wife. I was, just confused, and money wasn't something that I had, so I had to figure out, okay, God, what do I need to do? So I decided to take a step of faith, because I didn't really hear God say anything. I felt like God gave me just a prompting, but I didn't really feel like I heard his voice for any decision. But I knew that there was a decision that needed to be made, because my mom is also a single mother, and I live with my mom, and I wanted to be able to help out my mom still, but also take care of my new family. So I had to make a decision, and I decided to leave teaching and go into home insurance sales. And it was scary, and I'm in it now. I'm only a few weeks in, and it's nerve-wracking. But through this process, I began to really see how the fulfillment that I got while teaching, I don't have right now while working in an office, sitting down, doing a 9 to 5. It's super boring, but it does pay the bills. It will allow me to be more financially stable. But I don't want to worry about being financially stable and spending 45 hours a week at a job that's 30 minutes away from my home. So I'm like praying, and me and my fiance were talking about finances, and we really want to be able to just be financially free, and I'm $30,000 in debt from school and credit cards, So I began to just think, and I'm like, God, I want to use my gifts. I want to glorify you, but I know that you have called me to have dominion, and also to be able to bless people, and also to be able to be there for people. And you can't be there if you're so tied down to a job. So I was like, all right, I want to take a risk, and I really want to go and do content creation with everything I have. So that's what I'm doing. That's why I'm here today, guys. I'm here because I want to be able to bless people and use my gifts. I don't want to be in a situation where I'm not using my gifts. And I also want to be financially stable. And I know that, with content creation, there's so much opportunity out there. But I'm not looking at it just from money. I'm just looking at it from opportunity to be able to use what God has given me, and my fiance. I got some interesting things coming up with her as well. But yeah, guys, I'm here now, and change is scary, but it's necessary. And God had me go through a season and a period of change. But it's necessary, and it's something that I'm taking, and I'm in it, and I heard this from one of my favorite creators, Jackie Hill Perry. I didn't want to wait for the peace of God, because the peace of God can sometimes, it can kind of it can make me feel complacent because I'm waiting for peace. But God sometimes calls us to do things scared. So that's what I'm doing. I'm doing it scared. I'm releasing videos every week. I'm going to try to release 2 to 3 videos every week, and some, in the future with my fiance. You guys will hear more about that later. But yeah, let's get into the main topic for today. And I just want to touch on, me getting married. I'm 24 years old and getting married. When I tell people that, they're looking at me like, this guy's crazy. When I tell people that I'm 24 years old and getting married, it is like, people think I am losing my mind, And the reason why I wanted to get married is because I felt like God was calling me to marriage, man. When I was 21, 22 years old, I had this feeling like, man, like, I want to create with someone. I want to build with someone, and I want to glorify God with someone else, And I don't want to be single out here just, just doing my thing. No, I want to be able to set the tone and make a difference. I don't have any friends. I got one friend that's married, but for the most part, it's not a common thing. So, God puts me through a season of being patient, finding my wife, but we've been friends for a long time. And then now I'm in a season where I'm going to get married at 24 years old. And I'm excited, man. I'm excited. These streets was crazy and it was not fun. But now I found my person, and I love her to death, man. She is the best thing that's ever happened to me, man, besides, accepting Christ, man. She is a blessing. She helps me and pushes me closer to my purpose and closer to God, and I do the same for her. And we've come up with a plan and just like a vision for our lives and a vision for what we want to do. Like, we don't just want to love each other just for the sake of it, but we want to love each other so that way God gets all the glory and it impacts his kingdom. So yeah, I'm getting married, and like I said, the reason why I decided to get married is because I feel like she is the one that can add to what God is doing to me, and I can add to her, and we kind of level out, like the gifts that she has, I don't have, and the gifts that I have, she doesn't have, and we work together, and it's so beautiful how God did it. But the biggest reason why I decided to get married is because marriage is something that is looked down upon. It's something that people run away from. It's like a topic that people don't even want to touch sometimes. And we feel like we have to wait until we have all this money and we have all these things. And I know that in my life and in the lives of the people around me, I've seen a lot of bad marriages, and it impacts the people individually, and then it impacts the children, and then it impacts the people around them. Because most of the time the foundation isn't right. It's not rooted in Christ. And then people are selfish. So it's just take, not give. And I want to make a difference. I want people to see that if you put Christ first and you die to yourself and you move with selfless intentions, marriages can work, man. And when marriages work, families come together, and families are created in God's image. And if you trace back most people's traumas, it all starts with, men not handling their business. Like, most of the time, like, people's trauma come from like a man's decision and that leading to another decision. And most of the time it leads to divorce, at least from where I grew up. There was a lot of divorce. Like, I didn't have a lot of friends whose parents stayed together. Like, when I hear people now whose parents are together, it blows my mind. But that's why me and Aliana, my fiance, that's why we're doing this thing, man. We want to have people have a different perception of marriage. And we want, when people look at me and her, that they look at me and God. I mean, when they look at me and her, they look at God. So I'm like, man, I'm scared too. That's scared, but I'm excited, and I believe that God's hand has been on it. And you'll hear so much more about our story and how just like God wrote the love story. It wasn't us, and now I'm in a position to where I can create and I can glorify God and I can do the things that God has called me to do with my best friend. And that's something that I couldn't ask for. Like, it's just a gift that I feel like is one of the best gifts ever. Having someone that has the same vision with you, having someone that has the same faith as you, and having someone that goes hard for you, that's there for you. I can't tell you how many times Aliana has shown that she's there for me, man, and it means the world, man. She means the world to me. So yeah, that's what I'm doing, man. That's the season that I'm in right now, guys, and that's what some of the things that we'll be talking about on this YouTube channel is what God is doing in my life, what He's doing in you guys' lives, and just like I'm gonna take you with me through everything, and I want you to build a community where like we can depend on each other and we can use each other, and I can really use my gifts to help you guys, and you guys can learn from my experiences and really just see all that God has in store. So please keep coming back week after week after week. Hit that subscribe button so you can just be a part of the community, and turn your notifications on so that way you guys can know when I'm posting and all the updates about everything that's going on. Thank you guys so much for joining, and we'll see you guys next week. See y'all later.